Hi everyone. I feel like it's a really good time now for us to understand extraterrestrial beings, our relationship with them, particularly at this time, because I feel like we are going to be needing to prepare for contact in the coming years. I mean, it might even be sooner than we think. Okay, so to prepare for contact, I feel that we need a little bit more understanding of the idea of extraterrestrials, or some might call them aliens, some call them star families, some call them galactic cousins. I truly believe that absolutely yes, they do exist. For many years, before I became a bit more spiritually and energetically aware of how the cosmos works, I always used to have those discussions with people about, why do they come all this way? People see ships in the sky, they come all this way, they travel all this way to find planet Earth, and then they go and they don't land. In more recent years, I understand why that is, and I'll talk a little bit about that in this video today. So to prepare for contact, we absolutely do need to understand a bit more about the frequency of everything in the universe, and everything has a certain frequency depending on where it is or the experience that the being is having. And there, we all emit a certain vibration, we are all present on certain wavelengths of reality. Our eyes will pick up the physical world, but it might not pick up other things that vibrate higher than our eyes can interpret. So with regards to extraterrestrials, yes, I absolutely do believe that they exist 100%, but I always have. I've just never fully understood how it's worked and why they wouldn't potentially have shown themselves until, now or the near future. Now, yes, they have shown themselves to some people, but they would have shown themselves to some people because there was some sort of vibrational match to them. Okay, so there is many different types of extraterrestrial. The universe is abundant with extraterrestrial intelligence. Okay, so if we think again, and I always bring us back to this in videos in terms of vibration and frequency, okay, certain things exist on many different layers of perspective. So here in the physical world, the human beings vibrate in the third dimension, which is height, width, and depth. Okay, so we pick up on each other because we are all vibrating on the same frequency or a similar frequency. So we can all be very aware and perceive each other, the physical form, because we are in the third dimension. So there's a certain vibration to 3D. There's a certain vibration to the dense reality that we exist in here on planet Earth specifically. There are other dimensions to planet Earth, but the one that we're operating from, that you see me on and I perceive you on, is the third dimension. Heading into the fifth dimension, which is a higher frequency of consciousness. Very, very soon on this planet, we will all be operating from the fifth dimensional perspective, which is more of a unified view of each other rather than a separation. So we're not seeing each other as separate. We will start seeing each other as other versions of ourselves. We'll be more compassionate towards each other because we'll see each other as, other versions of ourselves, other versions of us basically presenting itself to us through other people. We will heal more of our traumas and our wounds and different things that we've kept suppressed, which will shift us into a higher state of consciousness as well. We'll be operating from a love-based frequency rather than a fear-based frequency. So this is what we are currently going through on this planet right now. We are making a massive double-dimensional jump shift in consciousness from 3D to 5D. And as that happens, a lot of chaos ensues, but it has to, because the old 3D structures are collapsing. And I'm not saying that to scare you, it's nothing to be scared of. Some of the things that we rely on that haven't necessarily been there for our highest good, but we thought they were, are collapsing. This is why we're seeing the world in such chaos at the minute, okay? So extraterrestrials or ETs, they are vibrating in other dimensions, okay? So their planets and their part in the galaxy or their space in the universe, they are very much higher dimensional beings. The ones I'm talking about now, the ones where we need to prepare for contact, I'm talking about the higher frequency extraterrestrials. So the ones that offer a vibration that is higher than 3D. It doesn't mean hierarchy and them looking down on you. It just means the frequency is different. So the vibration here on planet Earth is slower, where the extraterrestrials are, and they're depending on their evolution, okay, and their consciousness, they operate from a higher frequency, 5th dimension and above even, you know, in the 5th dimension where the frequency is higher. Yes, they still might have some type of physical body, but not like ours, more etheric, higher frequency bodies. So, you know, if you could see them stood in front of you, they may look a little bit etheric. They may look physical, but not physical, okay, because they're operating from a higher level of reality, of frequency. So this is why they haven't been able to present themselves to us before now, because while we've been vibrating in lower frequencies, planet Earth went into a low frequency for about 10,000 years. They are not we're not a match to them, and they're not a match to us. While we're vibrating on this frequency and they're vibrating on that one. Okay, so we're completely unaware of them because they're there, but they're operating from a higher frequency because they're much more evolved in consciousness. Okay, they're operating from the heart-led frequency, where we've been operating for a long time from a fear-based frequency. So with that being said, because the planet dropped in frequency for a long time, we were shifted more into the 3D/4D vibration of reality. Other extraterrestrials were a match to us, but maybe not particularly desirable extraterrestrials because they were operating from a lower frequency, okay? And because they were operating from a lower frequency, they could access, and for many years they have accessed this planet. It's not like it's going to be a big, huge invasion out of the blue, because I believe they have been operating on this planet for a long time. But they are not what I would call particularly operating from a for the highest good of humanity, let's just say, because their consciousness is more about things that are less than love, let's just say, okay? So when we are ready for the higher frequency extraterrestrials to come in, they will know when we're ready. These extraterrestrials that I'm talking about, the higher frequency extraterrestrials that act from their heart, they know that they can't just manifest themselves in front of all of us just like that, because they know, first of all, that we probably wouldn't even perceive them because we're vibrating from a much lower level, but also if we couldn't even accept even just our fellow human beings for a long time, and we judge and we act from separation, and we all argue with each other, and we've all fought with each other, how can we then accept them, a completely different species? So they know how that consciousness works. That's why they haven't just shown themselves to us. And if people have seen ships in the sky over the years, and they've asked the question that I used to ask very often, why would they come all the way here just for someone to glance at that ship and then it disappears again? Why would they build this huge ship, figure out how to travel at light speed or faster, come all this way for that long a period and not land? What I would say there is they have spiritual technology that we know not of. So they can manifest a ship, like a light ship or a light body, from nothing. And they can travel through dimensions, through portals where they don't have the restriction of space and time. So when we're seeing them in the sky and thinking, God, they've come all that way and they didn't even bother landing, you know, sometimes we have stories of them landing, yes, and that's a certain thing that has to be acted out, yes, but they haven't really travelled that far. They've managed to get to us quite quickly. Many, many, many higher dimensional beings in the universe have been fully aware of the process that Earth has been going through, and they've been actually really excited to connect with us, but they know that they can't connect with us until the time is perfect. How can they just show themselves to us if we're not ready to accept them? Okay, so they have held back for a long time. You know, maybe many thousands of years ago, there has been accounts of extraterrestrials coming from the stars and helping humanity to build, you know, from scratch again. You know, if there's been any type of devastation, they've helped them with their agriculture. They've helped them with, you know, building pyramids and build, you know, arranging things that you can glean power from and free energy and all this. Yes, we've heard that this has happened before. I do believe that they are ready to come and help us again. But we have to be very open to them. And many people are not yet, okay? Earth is destined to go intergalactic. Yes, it does sound very much like Star Trek and things like that. There is snippets of truth in these films, okay, and in these stories. We will be intergalactic, which means that we will connect with our star families like is a normal thing in the future, because they will be able to bring ideas to us, inspired ideas, new ways of doing things, you know, new ways of being that we're very capable of, but we just don't see that we're capable of it. They will help us with that, but they have to wait until we're more of a match to their frequency, if that makes sense. So if you think about it in terms of frequency, then this is why they haven't been able to present themselves to us yet, because they know the laws of the universe and things like that. Also, we have free will on this planet, okay? So they can't just step in without us asking, and if we don't know they exist, we can't ask, you know. So that's kind of how it works. There's many species in the universe that are more evolved than us, but they look on us with total compassion, because they know we're kind of like teenage level a little bit. We think we know it all, but we don't just yet. They know that, so they treat us with a lot of compassion, and they take it easy before they just kind of sort of muscle in and, you know, try and help us. They know that we're at that stage where that might shock us. However, we're very swiftly moving into new levels of consciousness, new levels of awareness, which will allow us to be more open to them coming and more open to actually working with them, because they really want to help us. They've seen how we've suffered for a long time on planet Earth. Okay, we've gone through a very dark period for a long time. They knew the frequency dropped, and they knew they couldn't just show themselves. But some of them are like a million years more advanced than us in consciousness. Okay, I'm not just talking about technology in general. I'm on about, yes, this spiritual technology they can use, but we have spiritual technology within us that we don't even know we've got. They've kind of figured that out. So they are prepared to help us with that, to move forward on this planet into a better world, into a more golden age. So they are hanging back still, but they're waiting for the time to be right. Okay, but like I said, there's many species, some really connected to us, but some of those species went through what we did here. They went through the shedding of the ego, the shedding of the separation consciousness, and then they evolved further. So a lot of them have sort of been there, done that. They're very compassionate towards us, and they are waiting for us to be ready so that they can help us. I hope that sort of helps to clear up a little bit about how it works with extraterrestrials. And I do feel we need to prepare ourselves for that contact. But what I will say is just bear in mind, there's no need to be scared when it's the extraterrestrials that are very loving and they want to help us, okay? Obviously, no one wants an undesirable ET coming in, but who's to say they haven't done, okay, when we've been in the lower frequencies? Okay, I'll just say that and I'll leave it there, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.